All right, Daniel, you blew up the interwebs with your RV life. Everybody wants to know how's Daniel doing? So we got lots of RV comments. But again, these aren't questions, just comments. This comes from Stacy Welch. Many people are selling their bricks and sticks. Is that what you RVers call the homes? Bricks and sticks?
I got to learn the new terminology now so I can be cool with all the RV people.
Yeah, that's right.
The bricks and sticks, man.
We're just brickers and stickers. I'm one stickers. Of them. You're going full-time RV living. You know, don't like your neighbors? Hook up the fifth wheel and move. Don't like the scenery? Hook up the fifth wheel and move. Vacation time? Hook up the fifth wheel and take it with you. No lawn to mow, no pool to clean, no high taxes to pay. Live wherever you want.
Amen to that.
Stacy is on board.
You know?
On board. I mean, except you don't have a truck to move. That's
no.
Yours is too big to actually pull down a highway. No, you could.
You know, so that was the whole thing. We were like, okay, if we get something that's really big, are we going to pull it? And I'm like, well, let me see how much a truck costs that's going to pull something as big as we want. It's going to cost more than the RV. And I'm like, especially right now, prices of trucks are through the roof.
That's very true.
I would spend over 6 figures on a truck, and I could be under 6 figures on a massive RV. So I was like, you know what? We're not pulling it.
Yeah. Park it. That makes sense.
I don't want to limit myself to something I could pull.
Okay,
but I can't tell you how awesome it is to see my little Tacoma parked in front of a 40-foot RV. It's
everybody
awesome.
Wait, you would pull that with that thing? Huh?
Yes, yeah, I do. Come on.
Oh, come on. Yeah, right.
You just gotta know how to do it right.
What's going on, y'all? Y'all are listening to the Daytripper Podcast. I am Chet Garner. Joining me is my co-host, Mr. Daniel Mecey.
What's up, guys?
Over here. It is September 2022. Does that mean fall is here? September?
Not in Texas.
Not in Texas. All right.
It'd be nice.
Yeah. It's one of those weird months. But anyway, we'll get into that later. Thank you off the top to our sponsor, the Daytripper World Headquarters, which is actually us. But it gives us an opportunity to plug the store. Remember, we just launched. It's September 1. We were holding back a bunch of really awesome products for y'all. We just launched them. Hoodies. I know it's not cold now, but cold weather is on the way, and we don't have that many
People
of them.
People have been asking for so long,
Performance shirts. You know, those fishing shirts, long sleeve. Oh, yeah. We got some new T-shirt designs, and because y'all are listening to the podcast, remember the code podcast gets y'all 20% off in the store. Y'all go over there, shop.thedaytripper.com, or come and see us in Georgetown. Just whisper the secret code podcast. Okay. Also, I got a reminder here. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, all this stuff. Later, we have a bunch of viewer comments, whatever that, like fan rants and musings. A lot of those are now coming from the YouTube comments. So thank you all very much. And of course, you can always send them into podcast@thedaytripper.com. But make sure you comment on this video, like us, subscribe to the channel, do all the things. All right. Now, whether or not September is fall, it's definitely one thing. And that's football season, my friend.
Oh, I thought you were going to say our birthdays.
It is both of our birthdays.
We have birthdays in September.
You can send gifts to the Daytripper World Headquarters at No,
hey,
football season.
Heck yeah,
football season is like a big birthday present that comes up
especially
all
college.
the time.
I love college football.
College football to me is definitely place one.
Because it changes every year too. Yeah. It's so much more exciting. I hate to say it's more exciting, but NFL, it doesn't change as frequently.
College football is more exciting because every game matters. When you can be 8-8 in the pros and still make the playoffs.
I know. I'm like, wait, what the heck?
8-8, you were not even good. Like you were mediocre. You were even.
That
you
means
were as
half
good as
the
you were
time
bad.
You sucked, and half the time you were good.
So
that means you shouldn't have a chance.
That's a wash.
Yes.
You were neither good nor bad. And if you're not good, you should not make it into the playoffs.
College, it's like you got to have a perfect record to make it to the national championship.
Every game matters.
Maybe you can lose once.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually how it is.
Yeah.
Or it's pretty much just Alabama goes to the national championship, and then we figure out who goes next.
Who else had 0 losses?
Yes.
And so that's what makes every game matter. College football, that's why every Saturday is super exciting. In the pros, you kind of half watch. The game doesn't matter. Maybe it does. And then I usually play fantasy football, but I'm not going to play this year. I think it ruins the games for me.
How?
Because, so the Cowboys are my pro team, but I hate it when I'm supposed to be cheering for the Cowboys, And like I've got the receiver on the other team on my fantasy league. And I just hate being torn to be like, well, the Cowboys should win, but it would also be nice if he put up 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, that'd be cool too, as long as the Cowboys get 4 touchdowns or 3 and a field goal, whatever. I was like, man, I mean, do you play fantasy? Like, have you done it?
I've done fantasy many times, but I haven't done it in a little while. Not specifically for that reason. I've just been too busy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're working me to death over here. So what time do I have?
Yeah, that's it. That's true. Man,
I'm kidding.
I usually also, we've got young families. If I'm going to watch football on the weekend, I only get a allotted amount of hours. And it's not because my wife is a crazy person. It's because I can't, in good dad faith, sit there on the couch for 6 hours on a weekend, like my kids need my attention. And so like,
that's why you teach them to love football.
Teach them to love football. Yeah. Hey, my son, I wasn't made like this where I could even physically sit still for 6 hours on a couch. I can't do that. I'm too frenetic. My son, easily. Oh, he'd kill a whole Saturday and a whole Sunday. Not because he's like lazy bones. He just stinking loves football.
Yeah.
Could you do it? If put to the test, how long could you watch football for?
So I'll be 100% honest. I am one of those people that loves to sit and watch a game, but I'll fall asleep watching it. And then if somebody takes the remote,
dad man
I am already
of
there. Somebody takes the remote, and I'm like, hey, I'm watching that. Don't change it. And then like within 10 minutes, I'm asleep again. And I'll wake up. Jordan's like, did you see that touchdown? Like, oh, they got a touchdown. Cool. That's awesome. Like, I'm terrible.
There's this great shirt I've seen. It's of a lazy boy recliner, and the quote on it is, "I'm just resting my eyes." Because how many dads use that? I'm not asleep. I'm just resting my eyes.
Yeah.
Are you in that stage?
I'm taking my pre-bedtime rest. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm there.
Awesome.
I'm there.
I only take naps when my body rebels against me and forces me to take naps. I'm not a very good napper.
I don't think that I'm generally a good napper. It's like on a weekend, I just
with something about
I just
the
enjoy
drone.
it. I'm
He's going up the left sideline. That's a gain of 15. It's a first down.
Well, there's that too. Okay, but you've been on vacations. You sit at the beach in a hammock. Like, do you go to sleep?
I can't.
So what do you do?
Sit on the beach for 5 minutes and go, okay, that was restful. Let's go build a sandcastle.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I run back out there.
Yeah, see, I'll let the kids build a sandcastle.
Like, I guess I'm supposed to be resting.
Drink.
Yeah.
I'd sit there with a drink and sip it and go to sleep. Listen to the ocean. Like, I'm all about enjoying the moment. And for me, college football or professional, even any kind of sport, sitting there enjoying the moment, I'll get wrapped up in it to the point where I'm like, I'm so comfortable, I just take a nap. Because it is a happy place.
Yeah. Maybe I just don't have comfortable enough couches in my house. Maybe I need that lazy boy, the big, the dad lazy
just
boy.
Resting my eyes.
Go get me a beer here. I'm just. Like I don't know,
boy.
But plus, my dad didn't watch sports growing up, so like that wasn't a thing. My love for sports and my brother, I don't know, it's just kind of organic. Our dad didn't really that wasn't his thing. It wasn't his thing. And so I don't know. I like that idea of sitting on the couch for 6 hours on a Saturday. I mean, if it was an exciting games, I could probably stay at home for 6 hours, just kind of like doing other chores and coming back in and just all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the last time I sat for 6 hours watching anything. So yeah.
But I mean, Sunday you got your noon games, you got your 3:30 games, then you got your Sunday night football games. That'd be like 3.5 hours each. 10.5 hours. Come on.
I'm watching the games that affect my team.
Yep.
Hook 'em, baby.
All right. Hook 'em horns. I know Daniel is. So I was going to go ahead and run through the rankings because I think there's a lot of people who maybe don't like football and they've already turned this podcast off. But if you stuck with us, I'm going to run through these quickly. Maybe you'll hear a shout out for your town. All right. And we're talking college football. And then I've actually got high school football rankings too. I found those pretty exciting. All right. So number one, now we only have preseason rankings and you can only put so much weight in a preseason ranking. But the best team in Texas right now is Texas A&M, holding at number 6.
At number 6?
Yeah, I'm only going through the Texas teams. Alabama's at the top. Who cares?
Look, here's a grain of salt. So
take
it with that.
Burn. A little further down, one of my alma maters, Baylor University at number 10.
All right.
The only other Texas team to make the rankings, University of Houston at number 24, which means
Chet.
Texas, TCU, Texas Tech off the rankings completely.
I'm okay with the tortilla throwers not making it.
Didn't even make it.
I'm kidding, Lubbock.
It's going to be it could be kind of rough. It could be kind of rough. All right, so that's college football. We'll see how the season shakes out. Now, I only got the number one team in each of the Texas high school football divisions, but it's kind of fun.
Okay.
At 6A, Westlake, the Chaparrals.
Really?
Always
All right.
hold. They're just dominant. I've heard some rumors, too, that they do recruit. Like, we would love for you to move into our district. Here's a job, whatever. Like,
yeah, I'm going to keep my opinions to myself on that one.
On that one, I
think
would
everybody's
like to know.
thinking it.
I would like to know if it's true, and I'm not coming up with an official opinion here. This is just what I've heard, and I want to know if it's true. So if you know, send us an email. All right, 5A D1, Longview, Texas coming in.
Longview.
5A Division 2, Oak Cliff.
Ooh.
The ones that beat Liberty Hill in the state championship.
Hey, that was a great game. Well, it was a great first half of the game. Liberty Hill really lost it on that second half. Oak Cliff just dominated, and it was a fun game to watch. Yeah. I was rooting for my home team, Liberty Hill, but Oak Cliff they brought it.
Okay, well your Panthers are at number 3, so Liberty Hill.
There we go.
3. 4A D1 Stephenville, 4A D2 Carthage. Then they get obscure. 3A D1 Brock. I had to look that one
Where's
up.
Brock?
Somewhere by Weatherford.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
3A D2 Gunter.
Yeah, I know Gunter.
2A D1 Shiner. Everybody knows where Shiner is. 2A D2 Albany. And then our 6-man teams, Westbrook and Benjamin.
Don't know those.
Yeah.
but that's awesome.
Yeah. So those are the teams. Those are the number one rankings. But
Have you watched 6-man football before? It's actually pretty fun.
Football is crazy.
It is crazy.
I love it. This is bad story, but the very first 6-man football game I ever watched, I actually got brought in as a guest announcer for it. Unknowing that it is a totally different game than football.
Absolutely.
And so I'm literally in the press box. My mom was working for Star School District. And so I go, she's like, yeah, you can come call the game. I'm like, I've been watching football my whole life. Yeah, easy.
I got this.
So the offense takes the ball, and I'm like, what? They're punting on first down, because you have to relay the ball through another player back to someone who can run. The first person to receive the snap after the center can't run. So what they do is they throw it to one guy, and then he throws it to a guy behind him so he can either pass or run.
I wish somebody would record that.
And then I go, wait, why are they punting? It goes to the guy in the back. Oh, no, he's going to pass. It's a fake punt on first down. We've never seen anything like it.
Everybody's going.
I know. I don't know. I mean, it was 6-man. There were only like 20 people in the stands. So luckily, I don't think there is any footage of this. And then second down. They're fake punting again. We don't know what's happening.
What is this, rugby?
And then I was like, wait, after the 3 downs of consistent fake punts, it occurred to me, I might not have any idea what I'm talking about, and I'm the guy with the microphone. Which, it's kind of my profession. There's a lot of times on the Daytripper, I don't know what I'm talking about yet for some reason.
You're the guy.
I'm the guy on the mic. Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, 6-man football is amazing.
Yeah.
Because when you're an athlete, you can just dominate the field. And so it's just fun to watch. Way less people to bump into each other. And so you got a lot more space to run.
Yeah, a lot more running.
I loved it. I loved it.
Cool.
All right, so football is indeed coming up. I'm pumped. Daniel's pumped. It's going to be an exciting season. Here's one thing I want to get right here near the top of the podcast. Daniel, what you been up to? And the only thing I care about is give everybody the update on the RV life. You're a couple weeks in.
It's pretty funny. Like, I don't know what the heck happened, but I guess a lot of people are interested in the RV.
Hey, man, we got a lot of RVers that watch and listen.
We're getting lots of messages about it.
Well, it might turn into an RV podcast only, depending on how this one goes.
Well, I'll be honest. It's so much better than I thought.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's probably thinking, oh, this is going to be terrible. But if I had gotten like a 20-foot travel trailer or a little pop-up or something, this would have been absolutely horrible. We got a 44-foot fifth wheel.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
There's not much bigger than that.
Monster.
We could have gone with like a toy hauler, but I didn't want to have to build out the garage and do all the work.
Yeah.
And my initial thought was like, you know, I want to do as little work as possible. That's not possible. If you get any kind of RV, you're going to be working on it, you know?
So it's not like an extended vacation. Like it's still something that kind of...
But I mean, we did get one that's brand new, so there's very little problems with it. But it's just kind of one of those things where you're constantly working on something.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's an upgrade or an addition that you're adding, or some little part breaks or something goes wrong.
Okay.
It's just they're not built technically for full-time living.
You got to dump the poop tank.
So there, I mean, there is always something you're working on, and there's always little shortcuts you find and little tips and tricks.
Okay. Yeah.
Watching YouTube videos, listen to the old man at the park who's like, here's what you really need to do.
I've been doing this for 85 years.
You know, I've been like dumping gray tanks every day.
Okay.
And because our girls take long showers, and I'm getting upset, and I'm finally like, you know what? I'm leaving gray tanks open. And I've got old men in the park going, "You're doing what? You can't leave your gray tank open. You're going to get the gases up inside." And I'm like, you know what? I figured out some ways. And
Watch me.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Yeah.
I had somebody else go, all you got to do on your black hose is just make sure you leave like a little P-trap in it. Just like in a sink, you know?
There's the gas
so the gases can't go up. And then the other thing is like make sure you leave water in your toilet bowl, you know?
Okay.
There's like lots of little things. And so I'm like, wow, I can take as long of a shower as I want now. Sounds good to me.
Hey.
We still have to dump black tanks probably once a week at least.
Okay.
I'd say. So that's not bad.
Nah.
It's not bad. And we got this black
You're
tank
not
sprays.
Daniel Mecey sewer man, like sewer guy.
It's been pretty good. So
what's the challenge? There's got to be something hard.
there is something hard, and it is Texas weather.
Ooh.
And we always say that we don't want to sit and talk about Texas.
We can't
heat,
complain about Texas heat. We can talk about it though.
I'm going to put a little asterisk next to that and say, if you live in an RV, you can talk about Texas heat.
All right.
Because I will say from probably 2 or 3-ish up until maybe 7-ish or really almost sundown, you get that west side of the sun. You know, sun rises in the east and it's not too bad, but in the afternoon, that sun blares down.
Okay.
Yeah. Not fun.
Oh, no.
I mean, so we've got 2 ACs, and technically it should probably be a 3 AC RV.
You're sitting in the hot box.
Especially in the back. Inside, when it's like 105 outside, we'll hit like 86, 87 inside.
Oh, no.
At the highest. And that's pretty
rough.
hot.
That's rough.
It is.
What's the solution?
Well, I called the manufacturer and I said, is this wired for a 3rd AC? And they're like, no, it doesn't need one. It's got ductwork to take it to. I'm like, okay.
Let's have a meeting in my living room at
Texas.
4 p.m.
Exactly. And so I looked into having it wired for 3rd AC. It's going to be way too much. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get one of those portable ones. I'll do it myself.
Yeah. Those work.
So I bought a portable AC, and I'm going to put a hole in the side of the RV.
Nothing like punching a hole in a brand new
RV. It's fully paid for, and now I'm just going to punch a hole in the side. And so, we are putting a little circular hole, and I'm going to vent it outside and put like a drip tube.
That wouldn't be that bad.
I don't think that'd be good. And then, honestly, it's going to add a whole nother AC to the back. It should be great.
Okay, so that's the challenge. Yeah. But other than that, y'all haven't like punched each other yet?
Well, my kids hate me.
Oh, okay. Well,
so no, not really.
No.
Life, any chance we get, like we'll just, if you got to run errands at that time of day, it's like that's when you leave.
Oh,
you know?
Okay.
And I'm either up here working or I try to wrap up work around that time. So it's like things are kind of ending. Or if I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this now. I'll come back to work when it's cooler.
Yeah.
But I mean, usually that's
not
pickup time for kids at school now.
Mm-hmm.
Things are getting busy again this time of year.
That's right. Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Well, you just avoid the home.
Avoid
the home.
And I mean, it's just this one time of year, right?
Yeah.
Like how long is Texas summer really?
I mean, no more than 8 months, you know?
John Mark over here, he's like, y'all are crazy.
John Mark's laughing. Well, man, keep us updated. I think y'all are still in the honeymoon phase a little bit, huh?
Maybe just a tad, but
hey, I'm pulling for y'all. I think it's going to be exciting.
It's cool. The weather. It's only
the weather.
And that's it. Everything else is
once
great.
It gets cool, everything will be fine.
Absolutely.
All right. I don't doubt it. Well, man, since last podcast for us, we had, summer wrapped up. And our big thing was we do a thing. We have a Garner family tradition, the last hurrah of summer.
Yeah.
And so we go to Port Aransas or South Padre. But this summer, we kind of already had a beach vacation. And I asked the kids, did they want to go back to the beach? And they're like, we kind of did that. I'm like, okay, fair. So we surprised them with a trip to San Diego, which in German means, we'll say that off. But I don't know what it means in German. Maybe San Diego. But it was awesome. We told them, so we did the zoo, we did Legoland, we went and saw the sea lions. And y'all know I love my Texas through and through, but man, the weather there was awesome.
Of course,
it was awesome.
California, man.
And San Diego, where we stayed, I guess mostly the tourist paths. It was clean, it was bright, it was sunny, it was great.
There's nobody I know of that is from California that says, the weather's terrible. It's like, no, the one thing that they really got going for them in California, weather's perfect.
Yeah.
It's great weather.
The weather. We went to these places too where you could hike with a national monument that has tide pools. So we went at low tide. And all the water had gone out, leaving these tide pools. And in them, there were crabs and sea anemones and fish and all kinds of stuff. It was awesome.
Wait, see what?
Anemones?
Anemones? No, I'm messing with you. Yeah.
Sea anemones?
Say it like a true Okay, I have a follow-up question on that. Do you feel like because you're the day tripper and also because your kids have been in so many places in Texas, when y'all really want to go on a trip with the kids, do you have to leave the state?
Ooh. No, I don't think. I don't feel that way. Okay. I do want to there is still value. Yes, Texas has more than we could ever explore in our lifetime, but we don't have beaches with sea lions on them.
Very true.
So there are some things that you got to leave to go and see.
Absolutely.
So we're not anti-traveling out of the state. And this summer earlier, our beach vacation was Orange Beach, Alabama, which is great. I think when all said and done, I still prefer Texas beaches to making the trip way out there.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But it is easier for us to travel out of state because not as many people recognize me and kind of do the thing.
Yeah.
Now we still do have people like. I was in San Diego Zoo. Hey, you're the day tripper. I was like, yeah. I was like, where are y'all from? Well, College Station here, selfies. And that happened quite a few times. And then we were swimming at the pool at our Best Western. And there was a guy who lives in Phoenix and came over and started talking to me. And we talked for a while. And then he's like, well, so how'd they let you leave Texas? And I was like, well, what? It's like, oh, you watched the show. He's like, of course, man. Blah, blah, blah. It's like from Phoenix, which Arizona is one of our biggest markets outside of Texas.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, which is just wild. So from that perspective, it's a little easier. You get to travel incognito. Yeah. So it was fun. Summer was busy, but it was a blast.
Absolutely.
It was a blast. All right. So let's jump ahead. While we've been podcasting, lots of stuff's been happening in Texas.
While you've been listening to this podcast, lots of stuff's been going on in the Lone Star State. This is Meanwhile in Texas.
All right, Daniel, this is the part where we bring our viewers and listeners something from the Lone Star State that happened that may be like, meh? So, go.
Well, so normally we find some weird stuff. This is actually pretty normal for my family, and I'm sure it might be for yours too, but maybe not to this extent. So, do y'all ever let your kids play with your phones?
Yeah.
Or if you see it, you don't really think much of it, especially your younger kids.
Sure.
Shep.
Yeah, well, Sept is 3. That thing's going to end up in the toilet. No, I won't. Okay. But Laurel is 7. And,
there you go.
She knows how to navigate to her games and stuff. So.
And our youngest Quinn is 5, just started kindergarten. And she's always, the funny thing is she'll get on the Target app and she'll say, hey, we got to go pick something up from Target. And I'm like, what? And then I look, she puts it in the cart and she thinks that means she bought it. She didn't buy it.
Oh, no. Okay.
In this situation, there is a kid who I believe is 3 years old in Kingsville, and it turns out he did actually buy some stuff to the tune of 31 burgers from McDonald's. So,
that's awesome.
Yes, he bought over 30 cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Oh, sorry, he's 2 years old. He was playing with his mother's phone, and they showed up delivered through what is it? Uber
Eats.
Yeah, one of these
DoorDash.
services. And she was like, "What?" And she looked and she saw that he actually did give the driver a $16 tip.
Oh, that's nice. Generous of him.
Very generous. And she was so shocked, but at the same time, it was so funny. She's like, I don't even know, like, what do you do? It was almost $100.
Wow.
And so she told everybody on her Facebook, like Facebook friends, hey, if y'all want some burgers, come
on over.
We got 31 of them. And there's a hilarious picture if you look up this story of him sitting on a pile, like next to a pile of burgers, chowing down.
Oh my goodness.
So that's
on the mom. I mean, you don't give 2-year-old an unlocked phone. That's what's going to happen.
We put passwords on our Target app, so again, that's why Quinn can put stuff in the cart but can't actually hit purchase. So
man,
let this be a lesson to everybody listening right now. If you've got little kids, you need to put some passwords.
I hope that little kid got sponsored by McDonald's.
No kidding.
He becomes the
or
new
Grubhub or something.
Yeah, right?
Oh my gosh.
The official door delivery of 2-year-olds everywhere. Grubhub. Oh man, that's actually awesome.
It is awesome.
I was with my friends. I was at my friend's house the other day, and they needed to check something on their phone, and they couldn't get in. The kid had reset the little finger passcode.
Oh, no.
So their kid knew enough, I think just blah, 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 and had reset their finger code. So they were like, this happens all the time. Well, I got to reset my whole phone. I was like, and then I guess download it from the cloud. Like, you need to learn. Don't do that. Don't give it. All right. So here's what I found. This is a little more dark. It's a very dark story, and I don't mean to make light of it, but let's say you're a murderer, but you're also a pit boss. How do you get away hiding the human remains from your victims?
Wait, a pit boss in
not in a, like, let's say I call your backyard pit boss. All right, so I'll just go ahead.
Yeah.
Please there were some explain. People, like, I guess, checking out a home in Southeast Houston.
Okay.
And I don't know if the home was for sale or exactly why they were there, but they were looking around and found human remains in the barbecue pit.
What?
Yeah. So, of course, there's an ongoing investigation being brought in, but evidently somebody had committed a crime, and to hide the evidence was slowly burning the body away on their smoker/grill.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun. Man, that's kind of creepy. So
my question is, was it low and slow?
Like, oh, no.
What kind of wood did it? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
this
right.
is, Chet, come on.
I know someone did.
How do you make light of a situation that's that dark?
There is a, it reminded me of a story in Stephenville that my parents used to tell me about Old Man Snow. And this is a truly documented story. And his home is now, he had a log cabin in the country. It's now in the historic park with all the signs of what he did, because it was back in the 1920s, and this was a pretty big crime for the day. But he had murdered his wife, his son, and his mother-in-law, and then was burning the bodies during the summertime, which he always had this big roaring fire going in the summer. People were alerted, they found, like this, human remains in his fireplace that traced back to, we hadn't seen your son in a while. So this brought back my childhood memories. So it was kind of a ghost story my grandma and my mom would tell us, like, you better be quiet or we'll give you Old Man Snow will come. Don't get too close to that fireplace. You know what happened to Old Man Snow's family. So
were parents really that horrible back then? Like, because I mean, mine did the same stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were way less worried about hurting our feelings back then.
I think so.
Way less worried, So anyway, that's kind of a weird story. Usually these are kind of funny. That one's kind of creepy. But anyway,
man.
Ongoing. I'll see if there's an update. He did get caught. Whoever owned this home, the authorities have been notified, but they're still looking for information about the case. The investigation is ongoing, and this story is about a month old.
Where is that?
Houston, Southeast Houston. Another reason to not go to Houston ever. No, I'm just kidding. I like Houston. Okay. All right, let's move ahead. Sorry, a big bummer there.
I know.
Wow. All right, we got a good Texas Music Minute coming up. And this is the part of the show where we bring you guys a Texas artist that you may have heard, you may not have ever heard of.
Is it Randy Travis? I'm digging up bones. I'm
digging up bones. Y'all ever heard of a man named Randy Travis? He's new on the scene. No, this is an artist I've picked in response to a comment from Nick Sweetman, who left this on our YouTube video. He said, "Wow, the Texas Music Minute has been rough for the past few months." So evidently St. Vincent and Conan Gray and all them not in his musical affinity group. So not a pop, weird, new age fan. So Nick, you're going to like this. Have you heard of Sam Smith and the Saints? Shane Smith and the Saints.
I was going to say, I've heard of Sam Smith.
Yeah, Sam Smith, not that guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Shane Smith and the Saints.
I have not.
All right. Well, you may recognize some of his music. He, since being featured on Yellowstone, has blown up. And so Shane Smith is from Terrell, Texas. Cool. Currently lives in Austin.
All right.
And evidently he's a great guy. One of my buddies, one of the guys who designs our shirts, Jonathan Smith, lives a couple houses down from him over in kind of West Austin, but a hippie-ish part of West Austin. Here we go. Here's sort of a thing that I thought epitomized Shane's sound. It says, with a reputation as a high-energy live act with stunning four-part harmonies, Smith follows in the footsteps of Lone Star songsmiths like Chris Stapleton, Ray Wiley Hubbard, Hayes Carl, and Ryan Bingham. The first album, Coast, was released in 2013, and 2 years later, Geronimo, then Hail Mary, and they've kept making lots and lots of music.
When you drop names like that, you set the bar pretty high.
This is true. This is true. But Lone Star songsmiths such as Chris Stapleton, he's not from Texas, is he?
I
don't think so.
Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. We need to do some research on that. Okay. But Shane Smith and the Saints has blown up. They've played now shows at Red Rocks in Colorado, which is one of the top venues. They're doing the festival circuit now. And the Yellowstone, I think once that happened, just sky's the limit for them. And we have their song, All I See Is You.
Storms running through the Midwest like a bandit out on the loose. And all the clouds, they're black as nightfall, but all I see is you. And rain's pouring through the window panes and the cracks of this roof. Tea's boiling from the spout of the pot, but all I see is you.
All right. Now, you feel it?
I feel it.
You get it? I mean, there's a high energy.
High energy.
Lots of foot stomping, fiddle playing.
What do you classify that as?
I would say like Americana.
Okay.
It's country Americana.
Okay.
So like country, yes, but not quite. That doesn't quite.
I wouldn't just call it country.
Yeah.
So Americana. Because it's not like a folk, but it's also close.
Yeah, you could say folk Americana.
Folk Americana.
That's probably.
I feel like when I think of you and I think of music, that's where I put you.
That's my jam. Yes.
That is your jam.
Yes.
When we're driving on trips, down the highway, that's normally the kind of music that you're going to
I'm going to go, Shane Smith and the Saints, Avett Brothers, not from Texas, wish they were, but
we can't all be perfect.
Yeah, I know they can't all be perfect. Then the Charlie Crockett, I lean more toward the traditional country. I mean, I listen to the heck out of Chris Stapleton.
Careful with the word traditional when you're saying country.
Charlie Crockett, I don't know, what do you call him? Retro country? He's playing the old school stuff.
Country changes every single year.
I mean, I love Prime Country, the station on XM, but that's like, your...
Well, I grew up with 80s country, and so like that's what I would be like, oh, that's country. And then people that are older than me would be like, that's not country.
Ain't country.
60s and 70s country is country.
Yeah, right.
We're going to do that forever.
This is true. I mean, what doesn't sound like country to me is modern country, right? And you're getting so many crossovers. It's pop country.
Bro country.
Bro country is a way to put it. and just not my jam. I see what they're doing. I mean, as a genre, music always has to evolve. And so country music, yes, it's continued to evolve. People, there's always, since the beginning of time, your point, there's been people who want it to sound exactly like the old stuff.
You know what?
That's just not how it goes.
The whole bro country thing or the new country, I look at it kind of like a McDonald's cheeseburger. Now,
I want 31 of them right now
31
in my
of them.
hand.
No, it's like, is it a good burger? Well, it's not the best burger, but man, I can chow down on that and I'd be perfectly fine. But do you compare it to a steakhouse burger? No, not even close.
Not at all.
But it gets the job done.
Okay.
So like new country, it depends on the moment, but yeah, I could listen to it.
That's a very good analogy, Daniel. I like that. You're wise. Very wise.
I've been told.
Yeah. Jordan, if you're listening, look at how wise your husband is over here. All right.
What can I say?
Okay. Now we move on to your questions.
Are we there yet?
Hey, can you pass me the snacks?
When are we gonna stop? I gotta go.
Okay, guys, you guys had some phenomenal questions. This is from Dave Rosenberg. He says, I would like to say how much my wife and I enjoy your show and the places you've visited. We love it so much, we're thinking of relocating to Texas. Unfortunately, every place we have looked at online is way out of our price range. Can you please enlighten us on where we may look for retirement? Oh, man.
Well, I've got a great answer, and it involves an RV.
Yes.
It's affordable. You can save money, and just make sure you're out of the house at those hot
hours.
Summer afternoons.
Yeah. Man, this is too open-ended. Like,
it's very
you can get some really cheap real estate in Comstock, Texas. But do you want to live in Comstock, Texas? Or are they looking for beach? I mean, there's a lot of people who want to retire by the coast, you know?
It's true.
And they were probably looking in like South Padre, Port Aransas, but there's some other cheaper retirement communities in the way, like Palacios, Kingsville.
One of the biggest ones in Texas is actually pretty close to our headquarters here. It's Sun City.
Oh, Sun City.
Now, I don't know about affordability.
Yeah. Central Texas all just keeps going up.
Man, for what you get for the price, I'm sure is amazing because they got so many activities and things you could do.
Dave, it depends on how far away you want to live from people. You know?
If you want to live out there, man, you can get a great deal. Out in West Texas.
Yeah. I was looking at places 100 acres for, $100,000.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
You're going to be middle of nowhere with coyotes as your friends, and that's all, literally. So, Dave, man, good luck. I would say just don't look in the popular places.
Yeah, what are the big five?
Yeah. You can't.
Austin, Dallas,
San Antonio, Houston.
Yep. Stay out of the metroplexes.
And the popular places, obviously, they're going to be more expensive. But there's some great small communities. All right. So this comes from Stephen Jones. I would like a trucker hat with Vaya con Dios Amigos logo on it. Well, Stephen, we are making one of those as we speak. So you stay tuned. We'll have it in the shop very soon. All right. I've already approved the designs. It should be printing right now.
It looks pretty cool.
It is
I
going
like
to be great.
I can't wait to get it.
It's awesome. All right. This comes from Mary Lou Swart, Austinite and true Texan. I enjoy your show featuring the Gaines, Silos, and Waco, but really disappointing that the DrPepper Museum was not even mentioned as a tourist attraction, whereas the Silos were completely commercial and did not have near the charm. How could that be?
Well, I could tell you why.
All right. Why?
Because we already did it.
There we go. That's the good answer. Mary, you got to watch episode 1 of Waco.
Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know?
The DrPepper Museum was already in the
first episode. Mary, did you know?
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's funny.
And we do have that episode online.
It's online. It's on our website.
Now, could we go back and do it again? Probably, but
it's gotten so much bigger.
It has gotten bigger.
It's doubled in size.
I went there like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, whole new section.
It never ceases to amaze me. It's so cool.
Dr.
The history of it, the size of it. Also
Yep.
getting to have a Dr. Pepper float at the very end.
Oh, man.
It's
there is something about a Dr. Pepper float at the DrPepper Museum.
Why does it taste better?
I don't know why.
They're cheating the system somehow.
I don't know why. I mean, they're getting their syrup from the same place everywhere in this, right?
You know how they said like Coke used to have cocaine in it?
Oh, yeah.
What are they putting in the Dr. Pepper?
It was started by a pharmacist.
Uh-huh.
So there's something there.
It's that 23rd ingredient. We don't know the...
Oh, that's right.
We have ideas for the first 22, but that 23rd is probably not legal.
Scientists have been baffled for decades. All right. Here we go. Now, this is one of the fun parts. Comments and musings.
Hey, Daytripper, I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh my goodness, it's the Daytripper. We love your show.
All right, Daniel, you blew up the interwebs with your RV life. Everybody wants to know how's Daniel doing? So we got lots of RV comments. But again, these aren't questions, just comments. This comes from Stacy Welch. Many people are selling their bricks and sticks. Is that what you RVers call the homes? Bricks and sticks?
I got to learn the new terminology now so I can be cool with all the RV people.
Yeah, that's right.
The bricks and sticks, man.
We're just brickers and stickers. I'm one of them. You're going full-time RV living. Don't like your neighbors? Hook up the fifth wheel and move. Don't like the scenery? Hook up the fifth wheel and move. Vacation time? Hook up the fifth wheel and take it with you. No lawn to mow, no pool to clean, no high taxes to pay. Live wherever you want.
Amen to that.
As Stacy is on board. On board. I mean, except you don't have a truck to move. That's
no.
Yours is too big to actually pull down a highway. No, you could.
So that was the whole thing. We were like, okay, if we get something that's really big, are we going to pull it? And I'm like, well, let me see how much a truck costs that's going to pull something as big as we want. It's going to cost more than the RV. And I'm like, especially right now, prices of trucks are through the roof.
That's very true.
I would spend over 6 figures on a truck, and I could be under 6 figures on a massive RV. So I was like, you know what? We're not pulling it.
Yeah. Park it. That makes sense.
I don't want to limit myself to something I could pull.
Okay,
but I can't tell you how awesome it is to see my little Tacoma parked in front of a 40-foot RV. It's
everybody
awesome.
Wait, you would pull that with that thing?
Yes, yeah, I do. Come on.
Oh, come on. Yeah, right.
You just gotta know how to do it right.
Okay, we have to always throw in a bad email. This comes from Stacy Hannah. Email title: I'm tired of your corporate beep. Oh no!
Oh, wow,
Stacy, right off the top, I'm gonna unsubscribe from everything. I know I don't need to announce my departure. I was born in Houston. I've been raised in Texas. I live in the deep East Texas woods, and you have less Texas in every time that you day trip. You've lost the beauty and embraced the corporate. I don't know what she's quite talking about, because our episodes are always Texas. She likes the piney woods. Maybe we just don't go the piney woods
She's
enough.
a deep woods girl.
Yeah, that's right. She get that good deep woods mosquito off every time. I'm a deep woods girl. Stacy, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe she's responding to something particular.
Okay,
we offended her.
We do talk about a lot of products, but they're all Texas products.
Yeah, maybe she's talking about our social media.
So it could be social.
Maybe the email. Maybe she's subscribed to the email.
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. We don't like to just push everything that comes in front of us. We say no to so many things.
Yeah.
But my gosh, if we are at a point where we talk about Texas and we have an opportunity to help Texas brands move forward, why wouldn't we do it?
Dude, Yeah.
And we don't do that for lots of money either. It's like sometimes we're just like, hey, this little mom and pop shop, if we can push them up there, heck yeah, do it.
People know this if they listen. Like, nobody pays to be on the Daytripper. So those are all.
They don't.
Yeah, that's all, us just promoting small business. But, of course, we have a staff and we got a whole system. So we do have paid promotion on social media and in our newsletter. Maybe that's it.
Who knows?
Who knows, Stacy?
Whenever you,
but she's unsubscribed, so she's
when
not
you're
going to see
deep.
this.
Oh, she didn't see
she's
it.
unsubscribed,
Well,
so we don't even have to talk to her. Yeah.
When you're in the deep woods, you got to cover yourself in DEET because of all that mosquitoes. So she might be a little high on the DEET.
Oh,
maybe
that's
what
it.
Is.
Yeah,
too much DEET in those deep woods.
All right, last one. This comes from Jeff Koch. I've been thinking about why I'm all in on the Daytripper, and for the past several years, I've been hearing mostly about the heartbreaking things happening in Texas. Your show and podcast, on the other hand, are always positive, have reminded me that our state has loads of great people, food, and things to see, and that make a sorry, I think it's my reading of his email, not him. It made me proud to be a Texan. Keep up the great work.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, Jeff. Great one to finish on. All right, guys, thanks for listening to the podcast. Remember, podcast will get you 20% off in the store, and that includes all of our new swag. Next time, we'll be back talking Texas again. Thank you, John Mark, over here, Mixmaster J, MC on the board, switching this up for us. Remember, guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff really helps us. And say your goodbyes, my friend.
Goodbye, y'all. I hope I'm still alive and the heat doesn't kill us in the RV.
Yeah, maybe you're going to be the bones in the barbecue pit, but it'll be like an RV-sized barbecue pit. What's Daniel? All right, guys. Vaya con Dios, amigos.